Okay, my name is Ben Price. I'm from San Antonio, and I recently had a friend who received a banjo as a birthday present, and I wanted to take just a few moments to welcome him to the world of banjo playing, and also spend just a few moments talking about some of the very basic issues that you're probably facing if perhaps you have also received a banjo as a gift, or maybe you bought one, or someone's given you a banjo and you'd like to, and you're starting literally from the very beginning. So we're just going to cover some of the very basic features. First thing is I'll presume that you have a 5-string banjo. This banjo has 5 strings. There's a 4-string version that doesn't have this little thing in the middle here, 4 tuners at the top, but doesn't have the 5th string. So I'm going to presume that you have a 5-string banjo. And then number 2, I'm going to presume that you're interested in playing sort of bluegrass style music where people use their fingers and pick. There are other styles of playing. Some of them involve strumming the strings with a pick, some plectrum, playing songs like Swanee River and so forth, where you're just strumming the banjo. I'm going to presume that you're interested in songs like Foggy Mountain Breakdown and things like that. So with that out of the way, let's talk about some of the very first challenges that you're going to face. Number 1 is certainly tuning the instrument. The instrument is tuned to some notes. You may have received a tuner with your banjo. If you have a smartphone, you can download banjo tuner apps, and they're free. So I would just recommend you do that. And it will tell you on the banjo tuner app what the names of the notes are and how to tune them. Once you get the banjo in tune, it'll kind of sound like this. And you'll recognize that sound after a while as being the banjo sound. Tuning the banjo, it sounds like it should be kind of simple. It's an acquired art. So initially, when you first buy the banjo and you're tuning it, it's going to take you a while. And what you're looking for is to try to get the string close. Do them one at a time, and try to get the string close to the sound of the tuner. I'll tell you, some people have a challenge with that. Some people seem to come a bit more naturally. So I'm not sure where you are, but just be aware it could be a bit of a challenge for you to tune it. So take your time, get to the point where you can kind of tune a banjo. I'd recommend tuning it every time you take it out of the case or you're ready to play it, give it a tune. The second issue is holding the banjo. I'm sitting at the moment, so I just have the banjo in my lap. If you stand, which is pretty common, you'll need a strap. This particular banjo has a strap, a cradle strap, which goes around the bottom of the banjo. It actually goes through the little bars there, and there's a leather thing on the top that can go over your shoulder. Some banjo players will play the banjo with the strap just over their right-hand shoulder like that. And some players will play the banjo with the strap over both shoulders. There's really no right or wrong way, whichever way you become accustomed to, that's great. This is not an expensive strap, but a bit more. There are other types of straps, and I have one here. This banjo, also a 5-string banjo, has the strap that's kind of inexpensive. You get the music store, it kind of clips on. And I just got it clipped on one of the pegs here, and round to the back, and clipped on the back. But it would be the same thing. You can either put it across just your right-hand shoulder, or put it across both and play it. Tuning, of course, is the same in all these. So that's holding the banjo. You can cradle it in your lap if you like. Next thing is the picks. This is a bit of a challenge. This is the last thing we're going to talk about in this video. You're going to need a set of picks. You can play without picks, and sometimes people do that. I'd recommend you get in the habit of using picks. I have a plastic thumb pick. I'll come back to that in a moment. If you've never used thumb picks before, it's kind of confusing. And then I also have 2 metal finger picks, and they look like this. Now they go over your finger. Hopefully you can see that, so that the pick part is at the bottom part of your finger, index finger, and I have a second pick. I'm going to put on my second finger here. So these are the two picks. You have the two metal finger picks and the plastic thumb pick. The plastic thumb pick, again, hopefully you can see it. The flat part goes on the bottom with the little end piece sticking out to the left there. So if I were to imagine I'm holding a small lemon or something like that in my hand, when I'm getting ready to play the banjo, your hand kind of naturally curves around a bit, so you end up with the ability to pick that. It's going to be a challenge for you to use the finger picks. They're going to fall off. You're going to catch them under the strings. They're going to fly off. That's okay. That's how it works. Also, just adjusting the pick is going to be a bit of a challenge. They bend. You can simply bend these ends, and they come in different thicknesses. You can't read this, but on the this is called the blade, but on this part of the pick, there's a number, and these are 25 thousandths, which is a fairly thick pick. So you can buy 20 thousandths or 22 thousandths or whatever works for you. So you could bend them until you kind of get them comfortable with your fingers. Some people have the blade, the pick part, going straight out, sort of. Some people bend it around. Again, this is one of those things that as time goes on, you'll get more comfortable with the way that your hand feels with these picks. It's going to be a challenge initially. So that's it for today. We're just going to talk about the holding the banjo, tuning it, which will take a bit of time, getting used to the finger picks. And I'll come back with the next video, and we'll do a couple of quick chords. It's not something we're going to focus on, but I know that beginner players want to get to be able to play some kind of song. So we'll play a happy birthday song and learn a couple of quick chords. Then we'll start on some simple rolls. There is a ton of information available on YouTube. Lots of folks are happy to help you. If you find somebody that you kind of, no pun intended, resonate with in terms of how they teach, that's the person to stick with. I know there's a lady named Chris Talley Armstrong who does a very good job on YouTube, and there are a number of other people, Banjo Ben Clark. There's lots of us. There's lots of people on YouTube who can help you with the banjo lessons. So for today, welcome to the world of banjo. Take your time. It's a very methodical instrument. It sounds great. All the time you spend in practicing, I'd recommend you do 10 or 15 minutes a day. All the time you spend practicing will pay off in spades. So get that banjo warmed up, and looking forward to seeing you play some more.